Hey guys, so I don't actually have a written review for this video, but I couldn't not talk about this book, even though I don't have anything of literary merit to say about it. It's just so good. And I just can't not make a whole video persuading you to read this book. And obviously the book that I am talking about is Everything Leads to You by Nina LaCour. You may remember when I hauled this book and I said that it was going to be the perfect book for me, and I was so very right. But here's the thing, I surprisingly don't think that it's just perfect for me. I think it would be perfect for anyone who likes YA contemporary, and even a few of those who don't. This follows Emmy and her best friend Charlotte during their last summer together before they go off to college. Emmy's older brother is in the film industry, and while he is on location for the whole summer, he gives Emmy and Charlotte his apartment in LA. The brother just says, you can stay at this place rent free, you just have to do something wonderful with it, something exciting and cool. He has managed to set her up with a few jobs because she loves film. Obviously her brother's in the industry and her parents are both college professors who teach pop culture, African American studies, like media kind of stuff. And her passion is set design, so she is an intern at a production company working on a certain room in a movie. As the story progresses, she gets another job and she's basically in charge of all the set designing on this one movie. Now, being a set designer, she goes to a lot of garage sales and thrift stores and like vintagey places and estate sales. And she finds herself at the estate sale of a very famous Western actor. And there Emmy and Charlotte find a letter, and this letter is addressed to his daughter, which no one knew he had a daughter. And he apologized and he left her money, and so they decide that they are going to take this as a challenge. They are going to find his daughter, and they end up finding his granddaughter. Now that is the plot, and you're already thinking, oh yeah, Kira, that sounds like you. Antiques, thrift stores, movies, set designing, yeah. But the main character likes girls. I'm pretty sure she uses the label lesbian in the book. It's one of those stories that you think, well, the author didn't have to do this to make the story make sense, or you could easily replace the female love interests with males and you would get the same plot. But the author didn't do that. They didn't just put males in. It's so good. The protagonist is a black lesbian. You wouldn't think so from the cover, but I'm pretty sure this chickie is the love interest and not the protagonist. And I don't ever like tab or sticky note my books, but this one was just so good, so I'm gonna read you a few quotes. Charlotte and I have involved ourselves in other people's lives in a way that suddenly makes me uncomfortable. Like there was a no trespassing sign in front of a family's driveway, and not only have we trespassed, but we've gone through the garage, opened all their private boxes, rifled through the photo albums and diaries to discover dozens of secrets that were never meant to be revealed. They really are like these meddling teenagers who get themselves way over their heads. Emmy and Charlotte are pretty privileged, and then they get themselves involved in this life of this drug addict and her legitimate children, and then they deal with the granddaughter of the actor who is currently living in a shelter for homeless kids. And they don't really know how to talk to people who are less privileged than they are. It's a really good look at like class, especially in the film industry in Hollywood. Now, I've talked about lesbian manic pixie dream girls before. This book tackles it and like shreds it to pieces. It's so good because the main character, her love interest in the middle of the book, she kind of is in love with this idea of a person, this like puzzle to solve. And so there's a quote here. Here, I'll set up the scene for you. The granddaughter, whose name is Ava, her best friend is telling Charlotte and Emmy how much Ava likes hanging out with them. And Emmy goes, us? She's Ava Garden Wilder. And Jamal raises an eyebrow and he says, yeah, that's her name. I want to tell him that it's more than just a name. It's where she comes from, who she is, but before I can say, he leaves. I'm paraphrasing a little bit. And then Emmy goes, what did he mean that's her name? And Charlotte says, you know what he means. He's saying she's Ava Garden Wilder, raised in Leona Valley, did drama in high school, ran away from home, works at Home Depot. He's saying that she's just a girl. He's saying she's just a girl. I love it. I love it. I love it. Because Emmy is so wrapped up in film. She wants everything to be dramatic. She wants this girl to be larger than life, but she's not. And I really like that when they're talking about the behind the scenes kind of stuff and they talk about how it demystifies it for them, that it kind of ruins the movie magic. And then when you take that and compare it to the debunking of the Manic Pixie Dream Girl trope, and that eventually she is seeing the real person, the behind the scenes kind of person, and she has to decide if that ruins her or not. If she really likes the person or if she likes this idea, this mystery, this puzzle that she found at this actor's estate sale. There's so much to think about even though it is just a YA contemporary. So basically, read this book because it is about the film industry. It debunks the Manic Pixie Dream Girl trope. The protagonist is a lesbian woman of color. The female friendships. I didn't even talk about the female friendship. Like, notice I kept saying Emmy and Charlotte, because they come as like a package. Writing style, I read you that quote, it was pretty good. It's a really good writing style. I think most people know that Nina Core is a really good writer. I really like this book. I think you should read it. Normally, I know that my queer lit that I read isn't for everyone, but this is for everyone. Except maybe Barry. I don't think he would like this. Obviously, I gave it 5 stars. I think everyone should read this book. It's beautiful and wonderful. And good night. I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye. That was my cover of Gimme Sympathy by Metric in my bag.